For the purposes of our discussion today, I'll assume that we're dealing with a company. That makes it a lot easier for everybody to understand. So what you'll generally have, pardon me, in a company is you'll have in the equity section a thing called the issued capital. Now, this is also known as shares. So if you've got 10 shares in the company and they are issued at $1 each, you'll have an issued capital of $10. Okay, so that's pretty easy to understand. You look at one of the big companies and they'll have an issued capital up to the billions. So that is the shares on issue at the price they were issued at. Next, you'll have a section called retained profits. Now, these are the profits that the business has built up over a number of years. So the benefit of the profits flows down into the balance sheet of the business as the profits grow, and as the business is profitable, it should build up assets. That could be cash, that could be investments, that could be land and buildings. And whilst we talked about non-current assets before, the corresponding aspect of that will be in the account called retained profits. So that's basically where that sits. So our retained profits basically record the build-up of the assets, the build-up of the net wealth of the business over a number of years. Now, you can find in some businesses that there will be a slash there and there will be a bracket, and it will also talk about retained losses. Now, that is where a business has made a succession of losses. They get recorded in the balance sheet down here as a negative. So that's what can happen there. The other thing that you occasionally see in equity section is an account called reserves. Now, I'm not going to spend any more time on reserves apart from mentioning the fact that your accountant will be able to use that in very rare circumstances, occasionally when you do a revaluation or something like that. It doesn't get used a lot, but just be aware that there will occasionally be an account in there called reserves. So the equity section, not a lot of people, apart from the banks, take terribly much notice of the equity section of your balance sheet, but that is where you record the actual residual wealth of the business at that date that you're looking at for the balance date. In another session, we'll talk about how the fact that what's actually in your equity section doesn't reflect reality.